In this module, we are going over pixels. Dun, dun, dun. I know it's one of those things where people are like, I don't know what that is, and it sounds super complicated. And you know, it could be, and I'm going to spare you any analogies and things like that. And I'm just going to go straight to the point. A pixel is a code. It's a code you put on a website page, a funnel page. That's it. That's all it does. What I'm going to spend a little bit of time showing you is how you would use the information from a pixel. So I figure if you know the end result and how it's being used, maybe you can kind of piece it all together and see how they all play together, without having to get into, the setup and that aspect of it, but you know what the result of it is. So I'm going to dive right in. All right. So we have another sheet on the Airtable, and it's titled reporting. So I'm not going to deep dive into the reporting just yet. What I will do is give you a really high level overview, and this will just explain the pixel. I'm going to switch over to my dummy Facebook ads account and just let you know all the numbers. You see the number sign, or I guess nowadays it's called the hashtag, but basically it's the number sign. That's where you fill in the numbers. And if you look, each of these columns match with the columns here. Impressions, reach, they're kind of jumping around a little bit on our Facebook report, but basically it's all there. And so you plug in these numbers. I already have these formulas added in here, and so you don't have to worry about that. And basically, here's what a pixel does. It allows us to see how many people went from step 1 to step 2, step 2 to step 3, step 3 to step 4. And the better we understand how many people are at each step and how many people we lose along the way, the better we will be able to know and pinpoint, you know what, step 1 and step 2 seems to have a big gap. I think we need to fix that. We have to change some of the wording, the imagery, whatever we need to change in order to get more people to go from step 1 to step 2. That's basically it. So you go into Facebook, you grab these numbers, and basically here's a little example of sample 1. So I just put in some dummy stats here for us. So let's see this section. So we have 3 samples where we've had 1,000 people reached. And out of the 1,000 in each scenario, 100 people clicked here, 500 clicked here, and 800 clicked here. So when you look at this percentage, you know, okay, this one obviously didn't do as well, and this one did. And so that goes to show that this particular campaign is doing pretty well from the ad side. So we're still on the Facebook ad side here. Then we switch over and we come over to the page view. So on our page, we have a pixel. And so what we are now able to do is, out of the 120 people landed on the actual website page or funnel page. For the 500, 75 did, and then out of the 800, 500 did. Obviously, looking at the percentage, you can tell this one's killing it down here. And it doesn't stop there. This is like the really cool part. You can actually add a pixel to see who might have initiated checkout. Okay, how many of us have started putting our information in to start to check out and then gets distracted, or your kids come into the room, or you just forget and you stop? And so that's what initiate checkout is. And so when you actually have a pixel code there, now I can see of the 20 people that landed on the page, 2 initiated checkout. So you know what? There's something about that page that really didn't resonate with people. Nobody really had the urge to even start the checkout process. Over here, 75, well, this doesn't actually make sense. So let's change this. So out of the 75 people, 60 of them actually checked out. I mean, that's pretty good. Out of 75 people that view a page, they love it so much that they're already starting to check out. Versus out of 500 people, only 10 check out. So if you look at these percentages, you can see that this one is definitely doing well. Even though sample 3 started off pretty strong, it looks like sample 2's page is doing well. And then of course, the most obvious, but again, having a pixel in place just makes it really easy, is to know how many bought. So since I changed some numbers there, let me change some numbers here. So let's just say 50, and then, so out of the people who started the checkout process, it looks like this one remains to be strong. Again, this is all dummy text, but you're able to actually see how many people actually made the purchase. And so if I were to review this, I would think to myself, okay, this conversion here is so strong that whatever page this sample is using, that is the page we need to use for the other two. Because sample 3 was strong with the ad bringing people in to the page had been strong. It had strong numbers, and then once it got to the page, it pretty much dwindled off. So then if we were to use this page over here, it would probably convert really well. And that's basically what the pixel allows us to do. We get to see every step of that purchase in these micro steps, and it allows us to know where the problems are. And that's basically what a pixel is. And so I hope that really helps to understand how it would be used versus trying to explain what it is. And I hope you're able to see that it is important to add, and it could be a little bit confusing, but it's a one-time setup and you're good to go. Comment or subscribe if you'd like to continue hearing more. Thanks.